Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
English lyricist who frequently worked with Andrew Lloyd Webber, born in 1944. United States playwright, 1892 to 1967. Annual or perennial rhizomatous marsh grasses. Seed used for food. Straw used for paper. Grains used as food, either unpolished or more often polished. Sieve so that it becomes the consistency of rice. Rice the potatoes. English lyricist who frequently worked with Andrew Lloyd Webber, born in 1944. English lyricist who frequently worked with Andrew Lloyd Webber, born in 1944. United States playwright, 1892 to 1967. United States playwright, 1892 to 1967. United States playwright, 1892 to 1967. Grass whose starchy grains are used as food. Wheat, rice, rye, oats, maize, buckwheat, millet. Foodstuff prepared from the starchy grains of cereal grasses. A breakfast food prepared from grain. Made of grain or relating to grain or the plants that produce it. A cereal beverage. Grass whose starchy grains are used as food. Wheat, rice, rye, oats, maize, buckwheat, millet. Foodstuff prepared from the starchy grains of cereal grasses. Foodstuff rich in natural starch, especially potatoes, rice, bread. The physical composition of something, especially with respect to the size and shape of the small constituents of a substance. Sand of a fine grain. Thoroughly work in. His hands were grained with dirt. Form into grains. Become granular. A weight unit used for pearls or diamonds, 50 milligrams or 1/4 carat. Dry seed-like fruit produced by the cereal grasses, e.g. wheat, barley, Indian corn. Foodstuff prepared from the starchy grains of cereal grasses. 1/60th dram equals an avoirdupois grain or 64.799 milligrams. 1/7000th pound equals a troy grain or 64.799 milligrams. A cereal grass. Wheat is a grain that is grown in Kansas. A relatively small granular particle of a substance. A grain of sand. Paint, a surface, to make it look like stone or wood. The direction, texture, or pattern of fibers found in wood or leather or stone or in a woven fabric. Saw the board across the grain. The side of leather from which the hair has been removed. The smallest possible unit of anything. There was a grain of truth in what he said. Distinguish and separate out. Sift through the job candidates. Separate by passing through a sieve or other straining device to separate out coarser elements. Sift the flour. Check and sort carefully. Sift the information. Move as if through a sieve. The soldier sifted through the woods. An intense or violent exertion. Difficulty that causes worry or emotional tension. She endured the stresses and strains of life. Cause to be tense and uneasy or nervous or anxious. Test the limits of. Become stretched or tense or taut. The rope strained when the weight was attached. A succession of notes forming a distinctive sequence. The act of singing. Remove by passing through a filter. Separate by passing through a sieve or other straining device to separate out coarser elements. Use to the utmost. Exert vigorously or to full capacity. Don't strain your mind too much. Biology. A group of organisms within a species that differ in trivial ways from similar groups. A new strain of microorganisms. A special variety of domesticated animals within a species. He created a new strain of sheep. The general meaning or substance of an utterance. To exert much effort or energy. Straining our ears to hear. An effortful attempt to attain a goal. Rub through a strainer or process in an electric blender. Alter the shape of something by stress. Psychology. Nervousness resulting from mental stress. His responsibilities were a constant strain. Injury to a muscle, often caused by overuse, results in swelling and pain. Physics. Deformation of a physical body under the action of applied forces. A strainer for separating lumps from powdered material or grating particles. Distinguish and separate out. Examine in order to test suitability. Separate by passing through a sieve or other straining device to separate out coarser elements. Check and sort carefully. Yields the staple food of 50% of world's population. Yields the staple food of 50% of world's population. Unpolished rice retaining the yellowish-brown outer layer. An irrigated or flooded field where rice is grown. Ethnic slur, offensive term for a person of Irish descent. Rice in the husk either gathered or still in the field. Having husk or outer brown layers removed. Having husk or outer brown layers removed. Rice. Rice. Japanese alcoholic beverage made from fermented rice, usually served hot. A reason for wanting something done. For your sake. The purpose of achieving or obtaining. For the sake of argument. Japanese alcoholic beverage made from fermented rice, usually served hot. British writer of short stories, 1870 to 1916. Small arboreal monkey of tropical South America with long hair and bushy non-prehensile tail. Japanese alcoholic beverage made from fermented rice, usually served hot. The act of preparing something, as food, by the application of heat. People are needed who have experience in cookery. The cognitive process of thinking about what you will do in the event of something happening. The act of preparing something, as food, by the application of heat. He left the preparation of meals to his wife. A substance prepared according to a formula. The physician prescribed a commercial preparation of the medicine. Activity leading to skilled behavior. The activity of putting or setting in order in advance of some act or purpose. Preparations for the ceremony had begun. The state of having been made ready or prepared for use or action, especially military action. Their preparation was more than adequate. Preparatory school work done outside school, especially at home. Music. a note that produces a dissonant chord is first heard in a consonant chord. The resolution of one dissonance is often the preparation for another dissonance. The act of preparing something, as food, by the application of heat. Cooking can be a great art. A person who writes the words for songs. A person who writes the words for songs. Someone who writes plays.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.